Hey everyone, I am Jess Tomlinson, excited to be here with you to share with you 3 signs that you may want to trust yourself more and that will shine the light on areas that it could really serve you to deepen into self-trust. I'm going to share this Facebook Live with my personal page, so just give me 1 second. Thank you so much for being here, for watching this live or watching the replay. All right, so we are talking about these three signs. Hi, Lucia. So glad to have you here. As I get ready for this Trust Men, Trust Love Challenge, which, by the way, is a 5-day free journey that I've created to deepen into self-trust. So when we look at these 3 ways that you might not be trusting yourself fully, you can ask yourself the question, if you want to join this challenge, it would be an honor to have you. You can do that at bit.ly/TMTL challenge, and I'll put the link in the comments here. Oh, I love when I have the opportunity to pop into your phone, Lucia. I love to pop into yours as well, and you pop into mine, and we all do this love thing together. There's really no other way to do it. So thanks for being on this journey with me, Lucia. So what are these 3 things that you in your own life might have going on that is really red flag, a sign that you might have some work to do to deepen into this level of self-trust that is required to trust men, to trust love, to really have a life that is deeply filled with meaning, to have self-love and soulful relationships so you can really have it all. The first thing that is a big red flag into your really awareness of, are you fully trusting yourself, is, do you trust that you are in the right relationship? Are you constantly questioning, am I with the right person? Is this the right one for me? Is there somebody better out there? Should I, did I make the right decision? This is a really, really big red flag of not trusting yourself. And here's the thing. When we are constantly wondering if we have made the right decision to be with the right person, it's not that the truth might be that you are with the wrong person for you, right? But the bigger point here is this a constant thing for you? Are you always wondering? Are you always kind of like on the edge of your seat in partnership, wondering, is this the right person for me? What this means, if you have this, is that you don't fully trust yourself. You don't trust your picker, as we like to call in the relationship industry, right? You might feel like your picker is off. And what this can do is it creates really a lack of being able to deepen into relationships, to really have what I call soulful partnerships. And it also can create your resistance to even having a relationship at all. So maybe you don't trust yourself so much so that you think your picker is completely broken, and therefore you kind of keep relationships at bay. And you say, you know what? I don't know. I don't really fully trust myself to make the right decision because there's, some things that have gone wrong in the past, and I've made bad decisions in the past. And so if you're constantly kind of like holding yourself off, this means that you don't trust yourself to make decisions in love. You don't trust yourself to really know what you really, really want. And by the way, so this is the first way. This is the first way that a lack of self-trust can show up in our lives. There's many ways, but I'm going to talk to you about 3. The important thing here as well that I want to note is that we all have lack of self-trust, right? And the difference is this a constant daily thing for you? that is plaguing your life. And really, like, the way that I like to think of this is when a lack of self-trust plagues your life, it seeps into all areas, right? Of your relationships, your purpose, your health. It really like seeps in and creates this fear-based feeling. Because when we don't trust ourselves, we're just totally on edge all the time. So if you are constantly having this feeling, that's a big red flag. Or if this feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm not really sure, like you constantly are questioning yourself, and not constantly, but just sometimes questioning yourself, you might still want to deepen into your level of trust. I know for me, I've been doing this work for a long time, and I've still got a long way to go in deepening into my level of trust, continuing to do these exercises that I'm going to teach you in the Trust Men, Trust Love Challenge, so that you can really create a partnership first and foremost with yourself, and you really trust that you know what you need, that you know what you want and desire, and that you can make the right decisions for you. Okay, so the first way is, are you constantly questioning if you're with the right person in partnership, or are you also maybe thinking that your picker's off and so you're preventing yourself from even having a partnership? So that's reason number one. Number two that you want to ask yourself is, are you constantly questioning your purpose? Are you wondering, like, am I on the right path? Am I doing what I'm here to do? And I get that this is a really big question. And yet, if you're constantly running this reel in your head, wondering if you are on the right path, then this means that there's something out of alignment with trusting yourself to make the decision to follow your, what I call your big, meaningful dream in life, this purpose that you are put on this planet to fulfill. So if you are consistently wondering, like, am I making the right decisions in my career, in my life, for my purpose, if you're going through that reel on a daily basis, this is a sign that you don't trust yourself to follow what you may know is the right path and to switch gears. And I have done this many times in my own life, and it's a constant reminder of having to trust myself. For example, I just moved 4 months ago here to Santa Cruz, California. So I was in Las Vegas for 10 years. And a ton of events happened. I got flooded out of my place. I didn't have anywhere to live, to call my own. I lived with a couple of girlfriends for 3 months. And then I got the very strong intuition that I was supposed to leave. And if I would have stayed in that, like, I want to stay in Vegas, and not listened to what I knew, which was trusting myself that it was time for me to leave, I would have caused myself a lot of pain. And there was actually quite a bit of pain in those 3 months of not having my own place and really like wondering like what's next for me. And I really had to practice what I preach, which is coming home to myself and remembering that it's me first and foremost that I need to trust. And I had to make some hard decisions, leaving my tribe in Vegas, leaving my women's group behind that I'd been running for 4 years, and leaving my dogs. So from the outside, you might look at this and say, oh my God, why didn't you just stay in Vegas? Like, there were so many reasons for me to stay, right? I was established. People knew me. I couldn't go to the grocery store without running into somebody who knew me. I had done a TEDx Women event for the past 3 years, co-produced that with my bestie. Like, I had it set in Vegas. And yet there was this like tension in my body when I got flooded out of my place and all these things started happening, because I knew deep down that it was time for me to leave. And so many times in our life, we don't trust ourselves to follow our deeper purpose. And we sit in this in-between state that causes resistance, pain, headaches, health issues, lack of joy. You can get depressed. Like I've been there many times when I didn't listen to myself. So there is this really important question to ask yourself. Are you constantly questioning your purpose? Are you constantly questioning, what am I doing with my life? This is a big sign that you may want to deepen more into trusting yourself. All right. So curious what you guys think too. Feel free to comment in the chat box. And by the way, once I made that decision to follow trusting myself, to make the move, to leave my tribe from Vegas and to come to California, the floodgates opened. I got flooded out of my place, and then the floodgates opened in a very beautiful way where just synchronicities started to happen. So this is what happens when we start trusting ourselves in relationships, in life purpose. And you're welcome, John. Thanks for being on. Lucia, grateful you went outside your comfort zone and made it to Santa Cruz. Gosh, me too. Me too. And I'll be honest, I'm still feeling out of my comfort zone here. You know, I have a meetup happening tonight, and it's all new people that I don't know. And in Vegas, I had that security and comfort of knowing lots of people. And so sometimes this deeper level of trusting ourselves is uncomfortable. However, it does create more ease, more synchronicities, and it requires a lot of support. So I did not make it here on my own. And that's why I really invite you, if you are longing for that support, to when you're attempting to deepen into this level of trust within yourself, to sign up for this Trust Men, Trust Love challenge. Again, that URL is bit.ly/TMTL challenge. Okay, so we've gone over two. The first one, are you constantly questioning if you're with the right person in relationship or that your picker is broken? Number two, are you constantly questioning your purpose on the planet, why you are here, what I call meaningful success? Oh, hey, Diana. Thank you. You're so sweet to say I'm glowing. It's the lighting. I love having you here too. So what a blessing to have you pop in. And it's okay. So number three that we're on is, it might sound silly, but are you questioning small little things like how you like your eggs? All right. I'll say it again. This might sound stupid. However, what I've noticed is really this level of trusting ourselves shows up sometimes in the really, really, really small, minute details of human life, such as if somebody asks you, how do you want your eggs done? And you say something like, oh, whatever's easiest. Like, this was something that I used to do all the time because I didn't trust that my needs were important enough to just make that request and to say, you know what, I like fried eggs. And yes, that is how I like my eggs. And I do say that now. And it's so funny because I had this moment where my mom was visiting me, and I had done, a lot of this work on trusting myself and voicing my desires and knowing that like I was enough and I was worthy of just having this ability of trusting myself and speaking up to my needs. And when my mom was over years ago visiting me, I asked her how she wanted her eggs, and she said, well, whatever's easiest. And I was like, oh, now I know where I learned that, right? Because especially as women, we want to be accommodating, and we're really great at being flexible. That is one of our beautiful feminine qualities, is adapting and bringing communities together and kind of seeing like what needs to harmonize things. And yet there's this deeper level of just trusting that our needs matter and that our needs will actually benefit the group. That is so important in everyday life and is so needed. So are you questioning something as simple as how do you like your eggs? Or what outfit do you want to wear today? It's these tiny little inklings of your needs, wants, and desires that when you are clear on what those are, that's a sign that you trust yourself. All right. But if you're hesitating at all in your preferences of anything, big or small, you got some work to do. And I can say that because I've done a lot of work in trusting myself as well. And again, you're not alone. All of us go through these different layers of being able to really, fully, truly trust ourselves. And especially when it's so scary out there, with the political atmosphere and life in general, like we, as humans, we live in a world with lots of different things that are triggering us, from the stresses of money to relationships to the weather. Like I'm being reminded of that living here in California with all these mudslides and road closures and stuff I never had to deal with in Vegas. And yet there's this coming home to yourself, trusting that you have everything you need inside that is really what's going to pull you through, whether it is relationships, success, self-love, your purpose on the planet. It really all comes down to this level of trusting yourself, you guys. So I cannot wait to cover this even more in the Trust Men, Trust Love Challenge. So if you're someone who's wanting to deepen into this level of trust and really feel the impact of what trusting yourself can do in your life and the amount of healing, love, and joy that is like unimaginable. And I can say that because, again, I'm experiencing it after many years of doing this work and continuing the journey because it really never ends. So I'm really excited to be sharing with you all these different three ways in the challenge that we can deepen into a level of trust for yourself. So again, let's cover those 3 different areas, those 3 questions that you can ask yourself that are so important. And I just invite you to get really honest with yourself. Because I think sometimes, especially as really smart women, which are the women who tend to be in my community, we're really good at rationalizing things. We're really good at saying like, oh, that's not really me. Oh, is Rosa on, Lucia? Rosa! I miss you all the way in Australia, if it's the Rosa that I think. Okay, so get really honest with yourself when we ask these 3 questions, because again, it's really easy to analyze, to get really stuck in our heads and say, oh, that's not me, because it feels like it's weak. I will tell you that the more honest I've gotten with myself in my resistance to trusting what I really know deep within my belly and my heart, which are where the 2 senses of, the 2 areas of wisdom really lie as a woman and really as people, whether you're a man or a woman, because I know there's some men on here too, but really asking yourself these 3 questions and even putting your hand on your heart and your belly and saying, am I questioning the relationships that I get into? Am I questioning, is this person right for me? Is my picker broken? And getting, really clear, like, what does your heart say? Like, are you constantly in this spiral of questioning if you're in the right relationship, if you're with the right person, and just asking your heart and your belly, is it a yes or a no? And it can be that simple. And then moving on to the next question, am I constantly questioning my purpose, what I'm meant to do here? Ask your heart, ask your belly, is it a yes or a no? And don't overthink it. Just allow whatever, even if it's a tiny little, yeah, I'm questioning that. Like, I'll be honest that I question all these things. Like I said, it's a lifelong journey. And there's always a deeper level of trust that we can come to. And then thirdly, am I questioning something as simple as my daily preferences, like how I like my eggs when somebody asks me? Or am I fully claiming this is what I want? And for you, it might not be eggs, but it could be anything, right? Like, what do I want to wear today? Am I constantly worried what other people are going to think? That's a big sign that you don't trust yourself and trust yourself to make these decisions. Oh, it's your little sister, Rosa, Lucia. Awesome. Okay, so those 3 questions, getting honest with yourself, I can tell you first and foremost that the more that I've been able to deepen into a level of trust for myself, the better that this has felt, because it doesn't, like, when you don't trust yourself, you're constantly spinning. And there's a difference between having this level of trust plague your life when you don't have it, and being able to really come home to you, your needs, wants, and desires, and have clarity around trust within yourself. All right. So thank you guys so much for being here. If you feel called, I would really love for you to join me in the Trust Men, Trust Love Challenge, bit.ly/TMTL challenge. Share this video if you found it resonated with you or you think this topic is important. I really am excited to have you all on this journey with me. Thank you so much for being here. Mwah.